Hey, review family, keep it high, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, the review guy, and I'm back to bring you another video. And in this one, I'm going to be doing an album review for the album Love Yourself Answer by BTS. Do you know how much, how often I make notes? I have notes for this album, and it's because I know that I would ramble on because there's so much to say about it. It's a 25-track album. This is a reissue. Well, actually, it's 26 if you count the bonus track, which that's its own thing. So 26 or 25 tracks, depending on how you look at it. It's a reissue with a lot of their songs from Love Yourself Her and Love Yourself Tear, as well as 7 brand new tracks. And for the sake of this, I'm mostly going to be focusing on those tracks, as well as some of the remixes, as well as the bonus track. So before we even get into the 7 new tracks, what I'll do is I will cover the remixes. We got at the end of the album, I was very surprised for a Fake Love and a DNA rock mix, and that's something that I really didn't think that we would hear from BTS. I didn't think it was something that would show up on this album. And I had thought, since there were so many tracks, that there probably would be some sort of changed or remix song because they've done it before, but not to this length. And wow, I just got to say, wow, I applaud. And I don't know if this was intentional, but the thing about this album is, despite the fact that there's only 7 new tracks, the whole album, they really set it up in such a way where previous songs that fit the mood of whatever came before it really flow. And it's kind of neat how these 3 albums have been tied together very smoothly, very, very smoothly. And yeah, so I guess we're just going to get right into it. So you start off with Euphoria, which is the Jungkook solo track. I remember back when it came out, it was the theme for Love Yourself, and people were like, oh my gosh, Jungkook isn't on this album. Where is Euphoria? Here you go. And this can honestly be considered somewhat of a new song because it's longer. It's the other one was, I think this is a bit extended compared to the original release that they released with the video of Jungkook and the other BTS members and at the beach and stuff like that, the pier. I think it's a bit longer than that. And my God, Jungkook's voice, his notes, man, the notes, they're so high, so good. Just his overall voice is just so good. Jungkook is my bias. Just wanted to put that out there for all of you, that, because I know that K-pop fans love to, know who's your stan, who's your bias, well, I'm a Cookie bias. He's my child. No one can harm him. I'm so stupid. I'm sorry. I'm gonna fangirl in this video. Usually I'm well composed. I'm sorry. That's just not how this is gonna work out. So then we get the first new track, which is entitled Trivia Dance. Is that what it's called? Let me make sure. Is it Trivia? Yeah, Trivia Dance. And this track it was weird. It was very spacey, very boppy. It was very kind of drifty, out there, weird. J-Hope sounds, in fact, I think that's something I wrote down. Yeah, J-Hope sounded very different on this track, and it's hard for me to place it, not in a bad way, but Jungkook on this whole album, to be honest, and to a lesser degree, Yoongi and Namjoon as well, but Hobi in particular really sounded different, as if he was maybe experimenting with some different types of voices, or either that or the mix was just handled separately on his behalf and made to sound different. So for that, I have to say that Hobi definitely sounds different. He sounds fresher than ever, and I really enjoyed his flow on this track. I think it's very well done. Like I said, it was spacey. The instrumental was really weird, but not necessarily in a bad way, because the trivia tracks on this album, which make up a lot of the new tracks, they all have very endearing, very kind of simultaneously dark but sweet instrumentals that really mix well. So I gotta commend them for that. And then you get Serendipity, which I marked down that it was longer. It was longer, and I was a bit worried because while Jimin's voice really was doing well on this track, it was kind of like repeating the chorus, and I was like, is he just going to repeat the chorus the whole time? But then he dropped into this very beautiful bridge that really made up for it, and it's like about a 4-minute track, I believe, and I think that Serendipity, great song. I think that Jimin's voice was very good on this song, and I don't mind that it was longer. If I probably would have complained about it if it would have been, if it would have been overdone, like if the chorus would have just kept coming and it wouldn't have been anything, but luckily they have the bridge that kind of cuts up the thing. And then we have DNA, and we have Dimple, 2 great tracks, obviously. Like I said, a lot of these are reissue tracks, so they're really great. Like I said, I like how they flow, some more than others. I think that some really flow more than others. And then you get Trivia Love, which I'm just laughing at what I wrote down here. Namjoon has really amazing vocals. Namjoon singing, my God, give us more Big Hit, please. Make the rap line sing more, because it's literally some of the best parts on this album. I really like kind of like the coffee shop loungy type of rap beat. Very cute, very kind of, I don't want to say lo-fi. Lo-fi is not the really right word, but kind of fuzzy, coffee shoppy. I like how it sounds. I like the kind of spoken word where Namjoon's talking about like destiny and like we were meant to be together and like the destiny type of thing, and the spoken word that kind of cuts it up. But see, if you think about it, Namjoon has done that before. He's not like unfamiliar with doing like spoken word, breaking up songs to do spoken word. Think of like Mic Drop, and that's something about Mic Drop that I should mention is I'm very happy that they kept the original. Nothing on the Steve Aoki version. I just think that the original kind of it's a little bit more raw, and I like that. So next up we have Her, the outro track from Love Yourself Her. We have Singularity, which everyone knows Singularity. You got Fake Love. You have The Truth Untold. And then we get Trivia Seesaw. This song made me like Suga. This song, Yoongi's voice, man. Damn. Dude, like, the rap line has such good vocals. Give them more lines. Give them more singing lines, because Yoongi just destroys this track. And it sounds like in the background, you get maybe some Jungkook background vocals. Now, I'm not sure if I'll have to re-listen to the album because I have only listened to it once. But it seemed to me like there was some background vocals from Jungkook, and maybe like a female or something. It's hard for me to say, but I gotta say, Yoongi's voice on this track is just so good. It really is great. And then, following Seesaw, they literally had to go and put the outro track from Love Yourself Tear. They put Tear, the BTS cypher with Yoongi, Hobi, and Namjoon, and I was just like, stop! You aren't allowed to do this. You can't do this to me physically. God, I'm such a fanboy. But like they put Tear right after Seesaw, and it's just, man, they really had to do that. Is that something they had to do? And then you get Epiphany, which was the single track from Love Yourself Answer, which is Jin's solo track, and it's extended too. There's some little things different about it, some vocal passages, some different parts, some lyrics, all that good stuff. It seems like they made a lot of the solo tracks longer, like when you take like Serendipity and when you take like Euphoria and Epiphany. It's obvious that they kind of changed up and did some stuff with it in the final product, which was neat. It really makes it feel like this is all tied together with a single bound thread. Jin's voice is fantastic on this song. I think that Epiphany is probably one of my favorite solo songs of any BTS member. And that's saying something, because I really like Begin off Wings, which was Jungkook's solo song. Are you seeing a trend with who I like the most? But man, Epiphany, Jin kills it. Love the lyricism on this album. On this song and this album. And the video for Epiphany, I really think it is so symbolic, so deep and intricate if you look into it. Really like the overall like veneer of this track. I think it's an emotionally powerful ballad. It reminds me of if you took Truth Untold and made it like more orchestral, more epic, because Epiphany really has that kind of building and swelling sound to it that carries it over from like the chorus to the verses and the piano, and it's a fairly simple instrumental, but it builds in such a way that it makes it seem like less is more, and it makes it seem like it's really just a bustling instrumental that's really carrying Jin's vocals, and it really helps the factor that Jin's vocals are just phenomenal on this track. So there's that. And then we have probably my favorite, funny enough, my favorite new track. Although I just forgot about something. Oh boy, we're getting to a big one. I'm Fine. I really, really like I'm Fine. Let me see what I wrote about I'm Fine. Oh yeah, okay. So this gave me a So What vibe from Love Yourself Tear, which is my favorite song off Love Yourself Tear, so that should say something. It has a remixed beat from Save Me. Like, as soon as I heard the, when I was listening on Spotify, I was listening and I wasn't sure of what the new tracks were going to be. I was kind of going into it blind. So when I heard the dun 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 dun, I thought it was Save Me. I thought that they were like incorporating Save Me, because that's one thing is I'm surprised Save Me isn't on here. Save Me is like one of their really big songs. And I was like, oh, cool. So they included Save Me. And then it was like, it's like came down a bit, and it was like a new song. And I really got a So What vibe from it. I like that they incorporated like the Save Me instrumental, and I really like the synths, and pretty much the instrumental, that's what reminds me of that's what reminds me of So What for the most part, but there are some little takes that remind me of it. All the members perform very well on this track. It's a very nice kind of dancey, EDM, powerful type of instrumental and overall song, just like So What. So that's pretty neat. I like this track a lot. And then the big track of the album. BTS loves having that, well, K-pop in general likes having that one song that's just really blows everyone away, that has a really nicely made music video, that they perform at like shows, that have a dance to it, all that good stuff. And for this, it's Idol. Who the hell was high on what when they made this song and the video that accompanies it? Because it's so strange. Everyone raps, and it's just the strangest, it's just strange. You get this like Egyptian type instrumental, and the members are just going ham. I mean, they are just out there. They are strange. They're incorporating some strange type of things. They sound just vicious. I mean, they really do sound vicious. And this track, honestly, while the production and the instrumental and the singing reminds me a lot of like recent BTS with like Love Yourself Her and Wings and Love Yourself Tear, there was a part of like the rapping on this track that made me think of some of their earlier more hip-hop material. It really reminded me of that, and I don't know if I'm alone with that, but it just really gave me that feel for it. It really made me think of that old stuff. And Idol is a great song. It's a toss-up whether I like it or I'm Fine more. I'm Fine might win it out, but Idol is just so strange that it's hard for me not to say it might be my favorite, because it really is out there. They really incorporate some strange, like, just instrumental, some strange mixing, some strange vocal passages, and it all comes together to create just an overall really good song. It's weird. I mean, that's literally what I don't know if you can see this, but like well, you won't be able to see that, but I literally just wrote down weird, because it's a strange song, and that's something about pretty much all of the new tracks off this album is they were definitely experimenting. It sounds weird. It sounds like they're going out of their comfort zone a bit. It seems like they're really trying to push the envelope for experimentation, and I can really respect that. I really like that a lot, and I think it's awesome that they are doing that. Good job on them. And then finally we have Answer, Love Myself, and I wrote down very simply, beautiful and a fitting end. And I almost got emotional for this, because the kind of the Love Yourself cycle has been going on a long time, and it's created so many songs, and it really boosted up BTS from being a fairly underground K-pop band that was big in Korea to an international phenomena success. Just an amazing band that crafts great lyricism, great music, great instrumental. Sorry, my camera bugged out a little bit, but what I was saying is, like, Love Myself is such a fitting end to this whole cycle, because it really encapsulates what this whole thing was about. Loving yourself, being able to love yourself for who you are, not being bogged down by other people. And that is beautiful. It's well made. And I think that this is a great way to end the album. Love the piano on it. The voices, everyone's voice. It's so good. It really is a beautiful track. And then you get into, I'm just going to read off the names. You get into the second CD, and you get, like, Magic Shop, Best of Me, Airplane Part 2. You get Go Go and Pan Man, Mic Drop, which is the Korean version. And then you get the DNA and Fake Love rock mixes, which, like I said, were cool. I like all the tracks that they chose for the second CD. And then you get the Mic Drop Steve Aoki remix full length, so they included both the original and the Steve Aoki, which is neat. And then we get to the bonus track, Idol featuring Nicki Minaj. I don't like it. I just want to say that. I don't like it. I wasn't the biggest fan of Nicki Minaj's new album. I reviewed it. It's on the channel if you want to go see. I gave it a 5 out of 10 if I remember correctly. Queen wasn't that good of an album in my opinion. And I'm not opposed to BTS collaborating with other artists, specifically in the Western market, but I just didn't think that this Nicki Minaj feature did much. The lyricism's very weak, and it just feels out of place. It does the instrumental kind of fits her veneer for what she was going for on her new album, but at the same time, when she comes on, it feels so out of place. Like, when it breaks up from them to, like, her, it just seems so out of place, and I'm not a big fan of it. So overall, because this is a reissue and it only has 7 new tracks, I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. But I'm just trying to be less, like, I don't try to give as many 10 out of 10s anymore. That's one mistake I made in the past, is I gave so many albums 10 out of 10s when I wasn't really critiquing them. There's not much I could critique on this album. It's just the fact that it is a reissue, and a lot of the songs have been heard before, but there's so much different about the album, and there's so much new material that it's a 9 out of 10. It's a great album. And, screw it, 10 out of 10. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. It's just a great album. It's one of my favorite releases of the year by far. Love Yourself tier, my favorite K-pop album of the year. This may take it because it pretty much has most of the tracks from Love Yourself tier and then some, so it's kind of like, why not pick it? Man, wow, this has been a long video. I want to hear what you guys think. I hope it debuts at #1 on the Billboard 200. They're up against Ariana Grande, and I'm probably going to review that album too soon, but they're up against Ariana Grande. They're up against, I believe, Alice in Chains, and I believe they're up against Third Eye Blind, and they're up against a lot of big bands. But with the ticket sales and the fact this is a long album with streams and stuff, I'm going to put my money on them debuting at #1. And if they don't debut at #1, they'll definitely debut at like #2 or 3. I'm hoping it's #1 because they put so much more in their music than a lot of pop singers nowadays. And I feel like the majority of the population that are beginning to like them are starting to understand just how great they are. So anyways, guys, we're over 20 minutes. I should wrap this up. I'll talk to you guys next time. What were your thoughts of this album? If you've listened to it, you can see it on Spotify. Support them. Go buy it. Go buy tickets. See them live. Do whatever you can to support them. They're so good. This has been me fanboying for 20 minutes. My name is Jay Morris, the fanboy guy, and I'll talk to you guys next time. But until then, I'm signing off saying fanboy well.